Hello and welcome to week 5 of Usability Principles and Practice, where we're looking at just how you measure usability, how you design for it, how you think about it, how you navigate it, all these things that make your websites and your apps just work better. And today we are talking about performance. Now last week we had a great in-depth chat about satisfaction, how satisfaction really drives website use. But you know what? No matter how happy you are with the website, you can always go a bit faster. You can always use less energy to get to your role. You can always do your job better. I'm Dr. Chris Parker, and let's begin. By the end of this video, what you will be able to work out is you can recognize the role performance metrics play in identifying usability issues to influence the redesign of websites. You'll be able to describe the 5 key simple, complex, and advanced performance metrics for usability evaluation. You will be able to run and analyze a performance usability evaluation at a professional level. That is what we're going to give you in this video. So, stick tuned, let's get started. How are we going to do that? We're going to do it in 3 ways. We're going to start with a quick recap of what is a metric. So when I'm saying metrics for satisfaction, metrics for performance, what do I mean? Then we're going to look at why performance really matters. Why should you really embrace performance as a key part of your usability testing? And then we're going to look at the 5 key performance metrics that you should use today. It doesn't matter if you're a student, it doesn't matter if you're a PhD professor. These are the 5 things you need to do to nail performance of your website or app. So let's get started. What are metrics? When I say a metric, what do I mean? Well, the definition is a metric is a way of measuring or evaluating a particular phenomenon or thing. We can say longer, taller, or faster because we are able to measure or qualify some attribute of it, such as distance, height, or speed. Now that is a really important definition. Think about it. We always want to have better performing websites. We want the revenue to be better. We want consumer satisfaction to be higher. We want checkout speeds faster. But if we don't know how fast it is right now, we can't see how we've changed. Have we got better or worse? We need a metric to tell us that. Now, a metric must be based on reliable data. What is reliable data? It's something that you can directly or indirectly observe, and you must turn it into a number. You must quantify it. So you can't say it's a little fast or it's a little slow, because a little doesn't mean anything. It's all relative. Whereas when you say it took 5 seconds. Okay, right, well, what about our competitor? Well, our competitor takes 3 seconds. Okay, what about our other competitor? Well, our other competitor takes 10 seconds. So we're slower than one, faster than another, and we now have boundaries to beat. We can never be as bad as our second competitor, and we must try and be better than our first. Becomes quite useful then. Management love it because they can look back and go, hey, over the last year, we've increased by this much. But overall, these metrics do reveal something about the user experience. Better, worse, faster, slower. It's all relative, and they're all really important aspects, as we will soon see as we go into why performance is important. But first, how do we use metrics? Well, there's 2 great families of metric. Firstly is descriptives. So, average completion time was 1 minute 30 seconds. So you get everyone to do a task website, you time them and say, yeah, it took that long, it took this long. Now, that's interesting, but it doesn't give us a big insight into what's going on. It only describes the current situation, hence the name descriptives. If you want to know if we are better or worse or faster or slower or any of those comparisons, you need statistics. Generally, we're talking about differences between groups. So a simple t-test is great because you take one metric, such as satisfaction or, lostness or any other of those great metrics, and 2 groups. So it could be males and females, could be young and old, could be you name it, just 2 groups. As soon as we want to bring a 3rd group into that, so we could have teenagers, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 3rd or 4th group, then you need something different. You need ANOVA. It's very similar to a t-test. It just allows you to do more groups. If you then want to bring in another metric, so we're looking at, do people perform differently using satisfaction and lostness, and we're going to have 3 groups of people, then you need something more advanced called MANOVA. But you know what? I've known people complete PhDs using just t-test and ANOVA. There's no shame in using these if they are the right ones. Now, as well as 2 families, you've got 2 kinds of metrics that we generally talk about in usability circles. The first one is performance, which is what we're here to do today. So is a task effective? So did someone complete the task? And was it done efficiently? Did they use lots of energy to get there? Because after all, it doesn't matter if you got to the end, if it took you all day. Really famous website called Ling's Cars. And oh my God, that is the least efficient bit of offensive eye candy you'll ever see. You might get to the end, but you really want to go there. Loads of energy, very inefficient website. Whereas something like Amazon, it's a very efficient website. You find your product, click or 2, sometimes just recommended on the front page, and you got the one-click buy button. Use that. Generally, these are lab-based tests, so you got to have controlled situations, and that's not always useful. Not always practical to get someone in the lab or generate a sort of field lab. The other kind we got is satisfaction. Now, we covered these last week. Go back to the other video before and see that. These all talk about how happy someone is completing the task. You generally complete that in a natural environment where people can really relax and feel themselves. You tend to be more of the qualitative side for satisfaction. You tend to be more on the quantitative numbers for performance. But you know what? Both of these run qualitative and qualitative. Let's say it right. Quantitative and qualitative. Okay, so that's what a metric is. Now we've had a good recap. Let's get back into what performance metrics are and why they're important. So why should you use performance metrics in every usability test that you conduct? Well, performance is a really integral part of what creates a great experience. So when you map the subjective rating of how good something was with the performance it has, it's really nice correlation. Now, we all know correlation is not causation, but in this case, it really has a massive impact. Lots of research has been done, it's been proven. If you have a high performance website, you will perceive the website as being better. You will rate it higher. Performance is important to the overall usability of the website. It's not only a measure, it's not, it's not everything, but hey, if we get this one part right, then everything else falls into place a lot easily. Maybe we can forgive a few bad designs if it works well. Craigslist is a great one for that. The performance is so great that we forgive the odd bits here and there. Now, when we think about performance, we've got 4 big categories. We have speed, how fast it takes to do. You have reliability, we do it in a predictable way. Can we do it efficiently? How many resources do we need to complete it? And then finally, experience. Do we delight our users? I know that usability gets this really bad rep of being cold and a bit techy and not very good. Many user experience designers shy away from it, but you know what? On Amazon, when you hit that one-click button, that feels good. And that's just a great performance. On business, now business really recognizes performance as a key item. Google say half a second to 0.5 seconds increase in time to load a website will reduce traffic by 20%. Think about that. If Google as a company, all their searches were half a second longer, 20% of people would go somewhere else. I don't know where they'd go. Maybe Baidu. Amazon have really got this metric of if they have a 0.1 second increase in the time it takes you to do what you're doing, revenue drops by 1%. Now, when you're the biggest company in the world, or one of them, 1% is a huge number. Now, when your computer's offering you better performance, they appear more attractive. Users invest time in learning the system that is faster, not the system that is lower. And we've all been there. We've spent hours playing with the computer or playing with the system to make it a little bit faster, to make it work better. And sometimes the time you spent making it work faster is longer than the original task would take, because we think in the future it will save us time. Now that's all about performance. We know it's important. Now let's dive right in. How can we measure performance in a metric that's useful? So we've got 5 of them here, and there are simple, advanced, and longitudinal. So let's start with the simple one, and they are task success and time on task. You can probably see where this is going. This is really simple, but you know what? It's effective. You need these ones. So task success, this is the most common universal metric. Did they complete a task? So we got an example. Find a sum address on a website which has red flowers, change your password and user profile, find the local store, make an order, whatever it is. Did you complete it? It doesn't matter if it took you all day or 5 seconds. It's just yes, no. Now, often you combine this with Think Aloud protocol, and this is where you will film someone and record them with a beautiful microphone like this, and you'll just get them to say what they're doing, talk out. So I'm opening the website, I'm searching for the address, I'm typing in red flowers. Oh, nothing's come up. Okay, I'm typing just dress. I'm seeing lots of things. I'm filtering, looking for a filter saying floral. Can't see one. Okay, I'm just scrolling. Ah, there's my dress. There I am. Then the researcher takes that, transcribes all the data, and applies thematic analysis to it. And that's just going, hey, what common themes are there? What are you saying? It's searching for this, searching for that, and then correlating between the two. Now, I believe on my video, on my channel, there's already a video on this. If there's not, there will be soon, and it'll be linked in this playlist. So watch out for that if it's not there already. So you summarize. This protocol really is essential. So we know it's done, we know it works, and Think Aloud will tell us about how people are working and lets people really get into satisfaction elements. If you're not sure about satisfaction, check out last week's video. It's an absolute stunner of satisfaction. You will do absolutely great. So we can take this and present it in such a way. So, we've got participant 1, task 1 was completed, task 2 was completed. So the big story is participant 1 had 100%, participant 2, task 1 was successful, task 2 wasn't, so got 50%. Number 3, task 1 wasn't successful, they couldn't do it, but they could do task 2, so got 50%. So you know what, we can go that task 1 has an average success rate of 75%. So these tables are great. Use them, but don't abuse them, because ultimately the stat that we care about is what is the average completion rate of the task, not the person. When you give the people as your big story in your report, you are kind of boring the reader. Anyway, the Think Aloud part would have drawn out what people are saying and what couldn't do. So that would tell you why things happen. So we'd say that task 1, buttons are too hard to find. That explains why participant 3 didn't complete, couldn't find the button. Participant 2, in task 2, there was no back button. There was very hard to read tasks, and the interface was very difficult to understand. That explains why participant 2 couldn't complete. Now, we might assume that if we address these 2 issues identified by Think Aloud, then we could have 100% task completion. So you'd want to make some changes, run them again, and see how those big average numbers have changed. So you would use the chart at the bottom. So different data here. We'd see that task 1, 2, 3, and 4 will run again, same task, and design 2 had high completion rates. None of them are particularly stunning, although task 4 is doing pretty well, so we'd need further redesign. Anyway, it's a really simple way to see, what's going on, what do we need to do, and are we getting in the right direction? Also, you can say, if we hit 90% success rate For our website, that's good enough, though I'd always push for 100%. Number 2, another simple task is just how long it took. Really similar to time taken, task completion, just measuring how long each task make. When you do usability evaluation, you would do this at the same time as task completion because all you need is a stopwatch. Click it, start, and stop. So, if we get tasks completed faster, users will perceive the website as being superior. Although you don't always want speed. So on a website where you're selling, it's about pushing things as much as you can. A fast website is excellent. But if you're doing online lessons such as this, then being slow is a real advantage because that slowness lets the lesson seep in. These videos are so long, but hopefully you're getting great value out of this. So we finished our simple metrics. We're now going to move on to our advanced metrics. These are ones which are still very doable, still very achievable. But if you use these, you're going to really impress all the design team, impress your boss, and get a deeper insight into what's going on. The first one we're looking at is errors. So, if someone is making an error, the web page is not usable. Remember, there is no such thing as user error. There is only bad design. So, usability and errors are not always the same thing because usability is the cause. Errors are the outcomes. Bad usability, get errors. No errors, hey, good usability. It's the kind of thing that we could class as an error is pressing the wrong button, filling in the wrong form, clicking the wrong thing. I was in class the other week and talking to a student using a website, and she was loaded up the website, clicked very quickly on something else, went, and got very excited and a bit embarrassed because she'd gone to something else. And then she was apologizing for going too fast and doing the wrong thing. And I was saying, no, don't worry. This is bad design. If the website was well designed, you wouldn't have jumped at the first thing you've seen and you wouldn't be on the wrong page. So it's an error. It can be designed out. You would measure errors in exactly the same way. So how many errors do people make on task 1 on average? On task 2, 3, task 4. In this design here, the design team really messed up because they made more errors on task 4. So more is worse. But task 1, 2, and 3, they did a good job and reduced the errors. So this really is a good bit of redesign. Now, efficiency. Time is simplest measure of efficiency. Effort is a better metric, but it's hard to collect. So when we're saying what is an action, it's clicking, pressing buttons, it's flipping switches, it's moving things, it's filling in forms, it's moving from one page to another, it's hunting data, it's all of these things. So when we want to measure efficiency, we start by going, right, what do we care about? So we might say we are caring about the number of mouse clicks it takes to get you from opening our website to making a purchase. If that's Amazon, that's, you want to have maybe there's 2 clicks. Maybe your goal is users are using 5 clicks or lesser to get there. Then if we can redesign it in the future to make it 4 clicks, then wow, we've increased the usability because you're faster, you have more performance, and less needed. So we know that actions are a single click, so start, click, and then whatever. Or you could say, well, it's this long on the screen. Whatever it is, you decide what to measure because if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never find it. So write down what your things are, count the number of actions. So using screen capture, it's a great thing for this. You're probably going to miss things if you're just watching. So QuickTime is good. Camtasia, my favorite. But just a piece of paper, write things down, have a little tick chart going on. And then, check each action that was done meaningfully. So when those clicks happened, were they clicking in the wrong place? Were they clicking out of boredom or frustration? Or were they clicking to make things happen? Now, when you want to analyze data, you can just count the numbers and like anything we've seen before. So we take an average number of actions per user in task and put that on a nice bar chart, redesign. No, second part of the bar chart is the redesign, whatever. That's a very simple. By the way, so you know, we have not left descriptives right now. We're still in that first family of metrics, just describing the data. A bar chart is descriptive. So let's think of something more complex, more interesting. Let's think about statistics. Actually, let's think about lostness, which is a great way of looking at effort. So here's a really simple wireframe of a website. So you've got a home page, your category page, and the product pages. Nothing over complex here. This could be a small business. Now, the top image shows you a nice direct home page to category to product. That is what you want. A great, well-designed website with great efficiency gets someone straight there. Probably got to the next point ahead of me. If you are going all over the place, back and forth, hunting and searching, you're lost. You know, the metric is called lostness. You're lost. You want to redesign the website so people are not going to the wrong place, because if they want to buy product C2, product page A1 is not going to help you. So how can we quantify how lost someone gets on a website? You can, and it's a very simple way. So don't be scared by the maths. I know lots of people see equations and go, oh God, what can I do with this? Don't worry, I've got a simple fix for you coming up in a second. So you need to get 3 variables. The first one is the number of different pages visited when performing the task. So in our top one, hey, we went to 3 different pages. The bottom one, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. So there you are. S is the total number of pages visited when performing the task. Oh, and in this case, that would be 6 again, because you didn't go back to the page. Now, if that middle category B one at the bottom was visited twice, then you'd have 8 pages visited. You might have gone to category C, then back to the home page, then back to category C. You know, so that you can get higher. In this example, we only visit each page once, but bear that one in mind. You can get multiples in S. And then R is the optimum number of pages that must be visited to accomplish the task. Now, you can't get any lower than 3. 3 is, you can't have it in one step. You've got to go through category C. Bear that one in mind. So those are the bits of data we need. And what are they? Here we are. So I've changed numbers around a little bit because I wanted to make the total pages visited a bit higher to show you a bit more interesting stuff. So we have our data, which is 6 different pages visited, total 9 pages visited, and 3 is the minimum optimal number of pages that must be visited. Now at the top you'll see our nice little equation, but I've turned it into an Excel formula there. SQRT is square root, which is that weird tick we see. B1 is the different pages. B2 is S, which is our total pages. B3, again, is our minimum optimum. And B1 is that. So you don't need to know how to create that formula on the right. I've done it for you. If you take this formula, put that into Excel, change those B's around so that they fit your data, or substitute numbers in, it will work fine. In this case, a lostness of 6 is there. Now, is that good or bad? You know what? It's a bit relative. So I would say a lostness of 6, that's not too great, because if you're at 1, totally lost. If you're 0, you are amazing. You went straight there. You want to be below 4. No, you want to be 4 below. So 40% of people get lost, no more. That is relative because you could start maybe first iteration of the website, you have lostness of 80% lostness, not a very good navigation system. And you redesign it and you're now at 0.6. Is that great? No. You should be at 0.4, but it's better. So that lets you do that. So we really are calculating things. Now, I said we're doing stats. This actually is still in the category of descriptives. So the statistical part would be if you took everyone's individual lostness and you would run that through a t-test. So design 1 versus design 2. Again, a t-test video is coming up very soon. So if you're not sure how to run t-tests, not sure what they are, just save this video and go and look at the t-test one, which is coming up very soon. So the other part is longitudinal performance. So it's learnability. What happens over time? So this is actually the simplest concept to get your head around, because you got your head around efficiency and you got your head around lostness. By the way, lostness is definitely my favorite measure of performance. Learnability is things that we do over time. So you think about your smartphone. You swipe down to refresh. That really, why? Why do you swipe down? Why don't you do any other motion? It's because we've learned that swiping down refreshes, because more and more apps over time have used it. So in 2009, Twitter established that a swipe down is refresh. And I remember listening to podcasts in 2010, 2011, where designers were going, you know what? Is the swipe down thing here to stay? Because not everyone's doing it. We haven't always learned it. You can't always discover it. Maybe someone will have something else. So is that what we want? But it is. It is now. So you would say collect a metric now. Today we did task time, or we did lostness, or we did anything. And 6 months later, or a year later, we do it again. And then another 6 months or a year, we do it again. And we keep doing it at those regular intervals. See how the same people have changed their actions. Because as you use a site more, you become better at it. You learn how it works. Now, this is one of the biggest pitfalls websites have. You get loyal customers, loyal fans. You have developers. You have members of the board, or all these people. And they all use the website. Now, in their mind, they honestly have great performance. They can do everything great. They know how it works. So they'll go, well, what are you talking about, bad performance? No, it's great. No, we can use this. I use it all the time and it's great. You're talking rubbish, it's bad performance. What they're missing is that new user, new person. What's their experience like? Because if the new user has a great performance, so we've got lostness below 4, we have fast completion times and all those other metrics, we have no errors, then yeah, your loyal fans are definitely going to be good. That way you capture everyone. So don't just listen to people who are using it all the time. Capture those new people, track them over time. And now this is harder. You need to know who the people are, you need to follow them up, but it is possible, it is doable, and you should definitely do it. Learnability is a thing, and it's a good thing, because if your website sucks a bit at first, but once you get to use it, it works really well, that's a good thing. It's not as good as being perfect, but it's a good second place. That is great for professional software. So CAD design packages, software, statistical analysis software, you name it, because you're going to invest time into it. And once you know how to use it and it's fast, maybe you won't go anywhere else because you think the learning curve for everyone else is even higher. Now, I said there were 3 measures. There's not. There's a 4th secret measure. We've hinted at it earlier on, and that really is observation. What people do, what people say. When they're doing speak aloud, they talk about what they're doing and why. They talk about their feelings. And when you do this, and when you bring in your satisfaction metrics, you bring in your biometrics, you bring in all of your usability skills together as one, around performance as the engine, then you really get to understand why things are happening. It's not good enough to say people are getting lost. You need to say they're getting lost, and this is why. So bring these other bits in to really bump up your work. So we come to the end. Summary, what have we done? So you, as the student watching this video, you should now recognize the role performance metrics play in identifying the usability issues to influence the redesign of websites. Remember that we covered that at the start. We looked at Google saying that half a second increase in time is a 20% drop in traffic. we looked at the 5 key performance metrics in 3 different categories, which is simple, medium, and longitudinal. So we've described those 5 key performance, simple, complex, and advanced performance metrics for usability evaluation. I might have got my terms there wrong, not too sure. Click back on this video, check, and if I've made a mistake, write the comments below and tell me I'm wrong. Okay, and you should now be able to run the analysis and performance usability evaluations at a professional level. What do I mean by that? I've given you the formula, I've given you the process, I've told you what to do. What is missing is the statistics, which is coming soon. I keep saying that because you are going to want to watch this video. Think aloud is also really important, and writing it academically is also really important. All of this stuff coming your way really soon. So let's recap. What were those 5 performance metrics? They were task success, task on time, errors, efficiency, and learnability, numbered there in a very unique way. And the last point, performance metrics tell you how well the functional assets are working, but they do not tell you why, do not tell you badly. So you need biometrics, you need satisfaction metrics, you need those. So if you found this video useful and interesting, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you liked about the video, and more importantly, tell me what you want to learn. Tell me the content that you want, and I will get straight on it just for you. But also, if you find this content useful and interesting, check out the Usability Podcast. We are on Apple Podcast and Himalaya. Right now, just search Usability Podcast and you'll find us. Contact me on social media. I am Dr. Chris Parker at UserGenDesign on Twitter. Thank you very much.